go ahead and play the game.
Tic Tac Toe board grouping row 1,
let's see.
column 1 colon, empty button.
So empty on column 1, row 1.
Row 1, column 1 colon, X unavailable.
Awesome. So it puts our X. So you can see the game's working, and it's on our own machine, and you didn't have to do anything with code. Again, you had to run a command or two, but that was just to get it started in Docker. Welcome to Coding Blind Tech. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Coding Blind. First, you want to go to codingblindtech.com. So I'll make sure to provide that link down in the description as well as in a pinned comment. So at codingblindtech.com, you're going to want to go to the top of the page.
Same page link, skip to content.
All right, we're using NVDA screen reader, and I'm going to press tab till I get to blog.
Banner landmark main nav list with 4 items, home visited, same blog visited link.
All right, there's blog. I'm going to hit enter on this.
Blog bar Coding Blind Tech. Same page link.
Awesome. So I'm going to go to the top of the page again with Control Home.
Same page link, skip.
All right, and from here I'm going to press H.
Main landmark X.
And this gets me through my headings.
All posts region, all post list with 15 items in.
All right, and then we have all posts.
All posts.
And then this brings us to our first topic of this video.
List with 15 items. Install Docker Desktop on Windows 11 with a screen reader heading level.
And then you hear there, install Docker Desktop for Windows. So this right here is a requirement for this video, and it's actually the only thing you need. So the goal of this video is to provide you the ability to go and take and download the Tic Tac Toe game, and you can see that video also in the description below. So we built a Tic Tac Toe game with Codex CLI using GPT 5.6 Soul, and the goal is to have you download that repository from GitHub, and then just only having Docker, you're going to actually run that game on your own local machine, and you'll be able to play it on your own computer. The actual link that you want, though, is the third one down. It's going to be the Tic Tac Toe tutorial.
How to install Alma on Win. Build an accessible Tic Tac Toe game with AI and Codex CLI heading level 3 visited.
All right, we hear it there. So build a accessible Tic Tac Toe game. I'm going to press enter on this.
Build an accessible Tic Tac Toe game with AI and Codex CLI.
Awesome. So now on this page, this is the actual blog post that I put up. Now, to quickly get to the GitHub repository link, I'm going to press H for headings.
Main landmark, watch the video.
And I'm looking for references.
What I build heading tools I use, create the React, give Codex, write a focused, save a clean, ask Codex, what Codex, play the game with, what this result, references heading level 2.
All right, there's references. So from here, I'm going to press K as in kilo. Well, before we do that, I'm going to press down arrow.
List with 5 items, bullet visited link, source code for the Tic Tac Toe project.
Awesome. So you can hear that I've visited it. So, but this is the first, in this bullet point, there's a link to the Tic Tac Toe project on GitHub. So I'm going to press home to get to the beginning of this line.
Out of link. Bullet.
And then I'm going to press K as in kilo.
Source code for the Tic Tac Toe project visited link.
And you hear there it focuses the link. So I'm going to press enter on this.
GitHub-coding-blind-tech/tic-.
Awesome. Okay, so this is going to bring you to the GitHub repository that I have up for the Tic Tac Toe game. All right, and from here we are going to navigate with H to actually get down to the README. So I'm going to go to the top of the page because I want you to hear the headings that you're going to have to go through to get to that README.
Same page link.
All right, so I'm going to start pressing H now.
Clickable banner landmark navigation menu heading level 2. Main landmark clickable latest commit heading level 2. History heading level 2. Folders and files heading level 2. Repository files navigation heading level 2. Clickable accessible Tic Tac Toe heading level 1.
There we go. Okay, that's what you're looking for. Accessible Tic Tac Toe. I'm going to let you hear that again.
Heading level 1 accessible Tic Tac Toe.
And it's a heading level 1, so we could have easily pressed 1 to get to the heading level 1 from the top of the page. All right, so from here, we're going to continue to down arrow.
Same page link permalink colon. Accessible Tic Tac Toe. A 2-player React Tic Tac Toe game prepared for Docker-based local development. Clone a. repository or download its zip file, comma, run one docker compose command, comma, and open the game in a browser. On the same computer.
Awesome. Okay, so what you're seeing here as I'm down there or hearing is the actual description or purpose. Then what I'm going to do now is you want to press H for headings.
Requirements heading level 2.
All right, so the first thing we come to is requirements.
Same page link permalink colon, requirements.
All right, and
install Docker with Docker compose colon.
Like I said, the requirement is that you install Docker. So again, the first blog post that I showed you, and I'll make sure to put that link to that video in the description, but you're going to want to make sure that you download Docker. So that's the first thing, and then that is the only thing. Now, if I press H again,
clone and start heading level 2.
All right, so you can clone and start. Now, if you have Git installed, and I have a video for that as well that I can link below to show you how to install Git while using a screen reader. But if you don't have Git and you don't want to install Git, you don't have to. So you have a second option, and that's actually the option I'm going to walk through today, just because it is the easiest option, and you don't need to be a developer to do this to be able to experience pulling this game down and running it. So I'm going to press H for headings.
Download zip instead heading level 2.
All right, so to download the zip, you're going to want to read these instructions. So I'm just going to quickly go through them.
Same page link permalink colon, download zip instead, open the visited same page link GitHub repository, comma, choose code, comma, choose download zip, comma, and extract it.
Yep, so that's important. That's what I'm going to walk you through right now. But we do have to go back up, and we have to find the code tab, and then we do have to find the download zip button. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I'm going to go to the top of the page.
Same page, clickable banner landmark navigation menu heading level.
All right, and then I pressed H for headings. Now I'm going to open up my find box. I'm going to press insert Control F. Insert being my NVDA modifier key. It could be caps lock for you.
Find dialog.
All right, so that's insert Control F as in Foxtrot, and it's going to be a find dialog. I'm going to type code and press enter.
Git main landmark repository navigation landmark list with 7 items visited same page link current page code.
All right, so there's going to be more than one code on the screen. So I'm going to down arrow.
Link issues.
And see the next thing past this is issues. So this is not the one we want. I'm going to open up that find dialog again. So insert Control F.
Find dialog.
And I'm going to hit enter.
Out of list clickable menu button collapse sub menu code.
There we go. This is the one you're looking for. It's a collapsible menu. So I'm going to hit enter on this.
Expanded. Clickable.
All right, so now I'm going to down arrow.
Remote URL selector list with 2 items toggle button pressed clone with H toggle button not pressed clone with GitHub CL.
All right, so this is where you can clone. So you can clone with HTTPS or GitHub CLI or SSH.
Out of list edit read only.
But if you keep down arrowing past all of this.
Button copy URL to clipboard. Clone using the web URL repository action button open with GitHub desk link download zip.
There we go. Download zip. It's a link. So I'm going to press enter on this.
GitHub dash coding dash blind dash.
All right, it's going to open up. I'm on Alt S. That's going to save it in my downloads. And now I'm going to open up my downloads folder. I'm going to do Windows plus R as in Romeo.
Run dialog.
It's going to open up my run dialog, and I'm going to type downloads.
Downloads dash file explorer.
All right, so inside of downloads, it's going to be at the very top.
Earlier this year group. Today grouping expanded. Tic Tac Toe AI main.zip 1 of 2.
There it is. And remember, it's a zip file. Now, here's what else is. This is super cool too. You do not need to move this anywhere else. You can put it wherever you want to on your machine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to very simply open up the applications menu. So Shift F10 if you don't have an applications key.
Cut Alt, comma.
And then I'm going to down arrow.
Copy Alt, rename Alt, share Alt, delete Alt, pop-up window, open with collapsed Alt, comma, open in new tab, open in new window Alt, send to my phone, share with collapse, extract all, dot, dot, dot.
There we
Alt,
go.
Comma.
All right, so extract all. I'm going to press enter on this.
I extract compress left paren, zip right paren.
Now it's just going to ask me what I want where I want it to be. If I just choose the default, it's just going to name the folder exactly what the zip file is named. So I'm going to press enter to keep that default.
Unavailable. Tic Tac Toe.
All right, now it's going to quickly extract and it's going to open up the folder, and that's where we are now.
Selected. Today grouping expanded.
All right.
Tic Tac Toe AI main 1 of 1.
Awesome. So I'm going to press enter on this folder.
Items view list. Today grouping expanded. Docker ignore not selected. Git.
Sweet. Okay, so what we get here is now this is the actual code. This is all of the files in that repo that were created to make the actual game. All right, so now looking through these files, I'm going to hit home.
Docker ignore 1 of 16.
All right, so we have a docker ignore .docker ignore, and that's just anything that we don't want to be recognized and packed into that Docker image, it will ignore it.
Git 2 of 16.
There's our .git ignore for Git.
Agents.md 3 of 16.
Our agents.md, which again, that's our harness, main project file for Codex CLI.
Compose.yaml 4 of 16.
A compose.yaml, and that's going to be for Docker.
Docker file 5 of 16.
There's our Docker file, and this Docker file actually makes up the image.
eslint.config.js 6 of 16.
ESLint.
Index.html 7 of 16.
Index.html. So our ESLint is just our linter for the React code to the JavaScript.
License 8 of index.html 7.
We have our index.html, which is our main HTML page.
License 8 of 16.
Our license,
Package.
which is for the repo, so allowing you to download it freely and it be wide open source.
Package-lock.json 10 of 6.
All right, we have our package.lock, which is the file that gets created by Node Package Manager whenever we actually install our packages to be able to lock those dependencies in the hashes to make sure that from one machine to another, and that whenever the dependencies get installed, they are exactly what we expect them to be. That's what that's for.
Prompt.text 11 of 16.
All right, our prompt.text.
README.m.
And that was our prompt that we used to actually start Codex CLI GPT 5.6 Soul on the job.
Vite.config.js 13.
Our Vite config, and it's just configuration around Vite, which is what we use to help us install React and manage.
Vite line React line setup.md 14. Public 15 of 16. SRC 16 of 16.
I don't want to board you with all of this. So our SRC file, public is where our public assets go for our React app, like our index.html and such.
SRC 16.
SRC, so this is our source files, and that's going to be it for now. All right, so awesome. Now, from here, what you wanted, there's a couple different ways you can do it, but here's how I'm going to show you to do it. So I'm going to press Control plus Space.
Not selected.
And that file I was on is not selected. Now I'm going to press my Applications key.
Pop-up window.
And we're going to open this up in PowerShell. So in our menu, we can up arrow.
Show more. Open with open in terminal properties alt comma. Open in terminal alt.
So we see open in terminal. I'm going to hit enter on this.
Windows PowerShell. Window.
All right, so now that PowerShell's open, I'm going to hit escape to make sure the line's clear and just type CLS and press enter. And what that does is just make sure, we're just making sure that the screen is clear. Awesome. Okay, so now what we can do is, remember, we need to make sure Docker is installed. So if you don't have it installed and you made it this far, you want to make sure that you go back and install Docker. So to make sure that Docker's up and running, we're going to do, to make sure that we have Docker, we're just going to do Docker space version and hit enter.
Client : version : 29.7.
Awesome. So it starts telling us the version. We know we have it. I'm going to type CLS and then hit enter to clear screen. All right. So to check if you have a Docker container running, you can do Docker space PS. So P is in Papa, S is in Sierra, no spaces. So I'm going to do Docker space and then no spaces with PS. And I'm going to hit enter.
Container ID image command created status ports names.
All right, so you hear it reading out some information there. So what those are table headers as far as visually. And then let's say that you're on a laptop keyboard On a big keyboard, you can read up the terminal with 7 and down the terminal with 9. On a laptop keyboard, you're going to hold down caps lock and hit up arrow.
Container ID image command created status ports names.
All right, so here we have we don't have anything running because this is all we see is our table headers. So
ID.
we have container ID,
image command
image
created,
command
status
created,
ports,
the status names,
PS,
and then that's it. So
C:\U.
That's good news. If you don't have anything running, for me, that's what we want to see.
PSC:.
All right, so now I'm going to hit escape to make sure the line's clear, and I'm going to type CLS to clear screen. Now here's where the magic happens. So the README after requirements and after the zip file installation, it's going to show you how to fire up the actual container. So the way you're going to do that is with docker space compose space up space and then -D is in Delta. So, and I'll explain that in just a second. So docker space compose space up space -D. Now, what this does is we have a Docker Compose file that will build a image and then create a container for that image, and the -D that will just run it in the background. All right, so now before I actually press enter on this, you may get a pop-up from your Windows security firewall, and that's just because the port 5173, we expose that to the network, so to all hosts. So if that happens, just make sure you check the box for private, and you can uncheck the box for public and you'll be good to go. But it's very normal. So, all right. Well, what I'm going to do is hit enter on this.
Number 1 left bracket internal right bracket load local bake definitions. Number 1 reading.
All right. It's going to start giving us some output.
Number 11.
But that's just it building the image. So it's building the image.
Number 13 export.
Create that.
Number 13
container.
1 star PSC.
All right, and so once it's done, it will give us back the terminal, so we'll be able to move around. Let's actually go up our terminal to see what we're looking at.
Space check check network tick check container tick check net check volume check image tick no indent left bracket.
All right, awesome. I'm just moving up till I hear some of that output that's from Docker.
Number 14 done 0.0 left bracket plus.
Number 14 done. Then you hear that left bracket plus. So again, this is just Docker outputting log.
Space check image tick tac toe.
All right, so check. This is what you're looking for.
Check image tick tac toe AI main app build 16.0s.
Awesome. So the main Tic Tac Toe app has been built.
Check volume tick toe AI mainline node line modules created 0.
Nice. So our node modules were created.
Check network tick toe AI mainline default created 0.0s.
Nice.
Check container tick toe AI main app 1 started 1.8.
All right, and our container was started. And so again, it just gives us our terminal, so we can do whatever we want in the terminal again. So if I hit escape and I type CLS, it'll clear screen, right? Now, if you go to the browser,
tick toe AI tick tac.
So we're going to move back over to the browser, and
tick downloads file at GitHub coding blind GitHub
All right, and remember, we haven't opened up Visual Studio Code or nothing. You know, so the goal is for this to be, you don't have to be a developer to be able to install this and see this. So now that we're in the browser, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Alt-D as in Delta.
GitHub code.
And then I'm going to type in, and I want you to do this too whenever you get it running. Local so no spaces, colon, and then you want to type
5 1 unselected 7 3
and we want to hit enter.
Localhost 5.
All right, if I go to the top of the page,
clickable main landmark region 2 player classic
Two-player classic. If I read the title,
Accessible Tic Tac Toe dash Google
accessible
Chrome.
Tic Tac Toe. There it is. So you see, I have not, all I did was install Docker. That's all we had. And then we ran a couple commands, downloaded a zip file, super simple. And now it's running on our machines. So we can actually play Tic Tac Toe. So hopefully you made it this far and it's exciting. Don't stop here. Go ahead and play the game.
Tic Tac Toe board grouping row 1, column 1 colon, empty button.
So empty on column 1, row 1.
Row 1, column 1 colon, X unavailable.
Awesome. So it puts our X. So you can see the game's working and it's on our own machine and you didn't have to do anything with code. Again, you had to run a command or two, but that was just to get it started in Docker, and that's awesome. So, all right, so you may want to keep it running. You may not. Now, you can most certainly close out of everything, and every time you open up Docker, the container will start again, and then you'll have the tic-tac-toe game at http:// and then it's localhost : the port number is 5137. Now, once you have it running, like I said, you can keep it running. But if you want to stop it from running, if we go back over to our terminal,
Windows PowerShell,
and remember, we're still in that tic-tac-toe directory. So what I'm going to type is docker space compose space and then down. And if you hit enter here, all right, so you're not going to hear anything. The only thing that you, so let's check for our output.
Top, bottom, window, accessible,
switch this.
Windows bottom, space check network tic dash tac dash toe dash AI dash mainline default removed 0.3s.
Right, awesome. So what it does is it goes in and it just destroys those containers. It just removes them. And then now if I go back over to the browser,
accessible,
and I reload this page,
localhost, heading level 1, this site can be reached.
There we go. So you hear this site can't be reached. All right, so now it's shut down. And remember, if you just want to start it back up, you can just come back
Windows power.
Do docker compose up -d, press enter. This time it won't take that as long because those images are already there. So you can check your output, but again, it's real quick. The way you know if it failed or succeeded, the quick way is to
localhost
alt tab back over here to the browser and then reload the page.
Accessible tic-tac-toe. Click.
There it is. It's back again. All right. So awesome. Well, that concludes this video. We have it running now. Make sure you stay tuned, like, and subscribe, especially to see the upcoming video where we actually build out an API. Then we'll create a new UI section where you can add both players' names, and then that will get saved in a database. That game will, and I'll show you how we can easily have a database running in a Docker container on our local machine and storing data. So that's pretty cool. So you definitely don't want to miss out. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. All right. Thanks. Bye.